weeks here, and I am glad to be back. Got my cameras back. Well, I had one of my cameras took a shit. The other one I just bought, but I was gonna go ahead and just wait until both of them were available so I can go out and do this. So I'm running two different camera angles. But anyways, guys, I see all these videos with everybody talking about, you know, how they rode, why they ride, how they got into riding. So I figured, you know, I'll give my little 2 cents, you know, and do a video on that. So what got myself into riding is, we're gonna go way back in the day. So when I was like 9 years old, I probably already told people this story before, but when I was 9 years old, I watched this movie called Top Gun, and there's a scene there where Tom Cruise is riding on a Kawasaki. It's a 900. But when I seen that, I knew for sure that I wanted to get me a bike, like later in the future. So here's where my here's where the history is of why I wanted to start riding. So of course, you know, at the age of 9, you're not gonna get you a bike. But when I hit about 11 or 12, that's probably about 11, one of the neighbor kids, you know, their dad owned a car shop and this and that, and they had 3-wheelers and 4-wheelers. So, like every day after school, you know, we'd check in, go do our homework and stuff like that, and then we'd go back down to this kid's dad's car lot, and we ride 4-wheelers and 3-wheelers and stuff like that. So I was like, man. So I tried to talk Pops into buying a 4-wheeler, and that never happened. We'd go into town, we'd be like, hey, I want to get a 4-wheeler, Dad. Can you know, what's up? Can you check it out? Can we get one, huh, please? So we went into town, we started looking around and stuff, and we walked out with nothing. So so when I was a senior in high school, a buddy of mine was doing, no, I was probably a junior. A buddy of mine was doing motocross on a dirt bike, and I was like, all right, cool, bet. I'm gonna get me a 4-wheeler. So I bought me a Honda 400EX, you know, got it all race ready and stuff, and started going, you know, did some motocross on quads. So like my first time ever out there, you know, I seen all these kids, you know, hitting this triple, and I was like, man, I bet I can hit this triple on this quad. Well, I wasn't thinking, you know, the weight difference between those kids and me was way off. So anyways, I went ahead and gave it a shot and jumped the first 2 jumps and landed straight top on the 3rd jump. Didn't make it. Got in a bad accident, whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm done messing with dirt. I have to find, you know, something else to do. So anyways, when I got married in 2000, but when I got with my wife in 2000, it was, I still wanted that urge of adrenaline rush, you know, and I really didn't want to get back to dirt. So like in 2002, I bought my first bike, the Gixxer 750, And ever since then, man, it's just been, that's how I got into that stuff, man. I always wanted something to do with speed, you know. And the crotch rockets, man, they were always like my favorite thing. Like I said, after I seen that Top Gun, I was like, man, that's a badass bike. And to this day, I still haven't owned a Kawasaki, but the aspect of the sport bike being in that video or in that movie wanted me to get a sport bike. And you know, like I said, I had the Gixxer 750 from 2002 to 2004 or 3. I didn't have it very long because there was a better opportunity to upgrade the bike, upgrade to another bike. So what I did was I got me a 2003 Yamaha R1. Well, the Yamaha R1 is not, for the town I live in, the city I live in, there's not a big use for an R1. You know, you're in third gear the whole time. You know, I can do the same thing on an R1 that I can do on this R6, except for I'm able to get into a different gear. But so I had the R1 for a little bit, and you know, buddies grew up, started having kids, and you know, everybody quit riding. So I found this opportunity to go ahead and sell my R1 and just chill for a little bit. Well, I took a 2-year break from riding, but I also still had that urgency for, you know, being on a bike. Because once you're on a bike and you love something you love something you do, and riding crotch rockets, sport bikes, whatever, like the minute you give it up, you always got that, man, I wish I had a bike. Man, I wish I had a bike. And that's how I was. Like, it was dead. Like, it was dead. Nobody was riding for like a year or two. But in year 2, in the summertime, I heard them fuckers starting up. Bing, 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 bing. You know, going down the road. You could hear them. And I was like, fuck, man, I gotta get me a new bike. I gotta get me a bike. So, like, I told my wife, I said, man, I hate this stuff. You know, I need to go ride. I want a bike so bad. I want to go out and ride. So I did. I went out and got me a Honda CBR 600RR, which was, it was an alright bike. But, it was one of those bikes that you was in a hurry to buy a bike. You didn't do your research on what you got. So when you went to go do something on the bike had different parts on it that wasn't meant for it. You see what I'm saying? Like, they had an 03 frame, but they had an 05 motor. And the tire hugger in the front was made for an 05 because they had the 05 inverted forks on the CBR. You know, so every time I went to go do something, like when I bought the bike, it had a stock exhaust. I wanted to change the exhaust out, so what I did was I ordered a 03 exhaust for 03 CBR, because that's what the title said. Got the exhaust in, and it didn't fit, because it had an 05 motor. Which I didn't know that until after my 3rd exhaust. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna order me a 05 exhaust. And guess what? It fit. Anyways, that's why I got myself into riding, because I like being on a sport bike. You know, I love it. I've been doing it for 15 years. I mean, I enjoy every minute of it. And that's what it's about, man. You know, every once in a while I miss the dirt, but the streets is where it's at, man. So that's my background of how I got into riding. You know, I enjoy enjoy it. It's, you know, you get to meet some cool ass people, and ain't nothing more like hitting that throttle, man. So, and why I like riding, man, look, you get to enjoy the freedom, man, of being on two wheels. It's awesome, you know. It's just, you know, it's not like riding in a car, man. It's totally different. I mean, having that breeze coming through your pants, you know, get some of that air moving through your nuts. Just kidding. But you know what I'm saying, man. You get to get that fresh air all up in your grill. So yeah, that's why I got myself in the riding, man. You know, you guys, I enjoy listening to everybody's story, you know. You know, I've watched a couple of them so far, like maybe 3 or 4. You know, why people like to ride. You know, what made them want to ride. You know, there's some people that don't have that. You know, my dad had a motorcycle. And, you know, if a lot of parents, you know, if you're growing up and your parents don't own a motorcycle, you know, there's a pretty good chance you're not even going to be interested in riding unless you get a little bit older and you got buddies or whatever that you like to ride with and they talk you into it. But other than that, like my dad had a Yamaha, and it just sat there in the yard, man. Like, he rode it every once in a while, but the older he got, the more he was like, you know what, screw it. Like, I never was once on the back of that motorcycle. I mean, yeah, I was when it was sitting in the yard as a yard decoy, but I never got to like ride on the back of a motorcycle. So I kind of had to create my own way of you know, riding. You know, just friends had 4-wheelers and stuff like that, 3-wheelers. You know, you gotta get out there and experience it. Now, don't get me wrong, riding on the quad is different than riding on a sport bike. I mean, yeah, it's the same concept. You got to shift and everything, use the clutch, but your balance on a quad is more equal than the balance on a sport bike. So don't think just because you ride quads and that's all you ever rode, you can get on a you know, 600 like this or an R1 or a Hayabusa and be like, oh man, this is easy, I got this. And you don't. Because I've watched it happen. I watched a kid be on a you know, that's all he ever did was on a 4-wheeler. And he's like, man, I'm gonna give me a Hayabusa. Okay. Came down here at the Power Sports, got him a 1300cc Hayabusa, paid cash for it, and even the owner said, hey, you know how to ride this? He goes, yeah, I got this. And he had to go all the way back to Junction City. He didn't even get it off the lot, and he dumped it. I mean, anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, man, I apologize for not getting a video out last week. You know, shit happens. You get malfunctions with cameras and stuff like that, and you know, it all turns to shit. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You know, have fun, be safe, and like always, man, I'll see you in the next one.